guys, welcome to Big Sister. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys have been enjoying my channel. It's a baby channel, it's just starting, so I hope you guys will support me. I hope you guys will consider to share, like, subscribe, all those good stuff. So guys, I want to get right into this video, and today we're going to be talking about dating someone who has children. All right. So first of all, we do know I'm going to talk about two demographics. We're going to talk about the teens, okay, or those who are single, and then we're going to talk about adults, okay. And so I want to talk with you about a couple of things. And number one, teen pregnancies, it's something that happens, but it is very much a life-altering and a life-changing experience. Many teens will have the babies. It's always fun to make those children, and babies are cute, but they are a lifetime responsibility, and it is going to change your life. Even if you have the assistance from your family, it is very life-altering. So some of you you may notice someone who has a child, and you may be interested in this person. So what do you say about that? Well, I'll tell you the things that I will tell my children, okay? I would advise it. That's just me, but that's not for everyone. The reason why I say that is because the child is going to have my children, they're going to have the opportunity at some point, if they would like, to have their own children. And with that, there's going to come a great deal of responsibility. Maybe they'll fall in love with someone who already has a child. Never know what can happen, but they will have that time to be an adult, to learn how to be a parent and all of that. In your youth, I believe that you should be living your life to the fullest. In your youth, if you're trying to go out with someone who has a child, there are many things that's going to make the normal freedoms and liberties that you have as a young child, it's going to be non-existent. It's going to be significantly altered and changed. So the things that you used to do, going to the movies or whatever you do just as young people, you're going to have to make arrangements for that. That young man, that young woman is going to have to make arrangements for childcare, babysitter. You may have to leave. You may have to go where the baby's being dropped off, all these different things. You may yourself have to, you guys are trying to bring the baby along. You may be cool with it at that moment, but long term, it can be progressively exhausting and tiring. I can tell you, because as a mother, having been in a marriage, all of that, it is work. Even when you have both partners, even having a husband with children, for the both of us, it's a lot of responsibility. So imagine as a teenager, you're still a kid yourself, trying to figure out what you want to do. I'm going to tell you that once you have that child, as cute as it may be, regardless of the support that you have, there's going to be a lot involved. So trying to date, trying to go out, trying to go to the same places is going to be different. A lot of times that person's going to have to be home or have to leave early, and that can be conflicting, because you may want to stay and have some fun, but the person has to leave, maybe to go pick up the baby. Something happened to the child. You want to sit there and still have fun with your friends as you would as a teenager. But if you're with someone who has a child, now that may be conflicting, because now you don't want to leave, or you may leave grudgingly, feeling some resentment, feeling as if you can't really do anything. You have to change your life to be with this person with a child. And sometimes if you are the person with a child, what's going to happen is you're trying to date other people, and you would have an expectation that they may not be able to, may change their fun or change what they're doing, cut it short to be with you or to come hang out with you at home. And that can be a point of conflict if that person does not want to. You may feel that the person doesn't care about you, but it's not that they don't care about you. They are still young. They're doing things that's actually normal and natural for them to want to do as a young child. So that's why, if you do not have children and you're a teenager, don't have children. Those who have children, it does not mean it's the end of their life. They can still do things. They'll get older and do some things, but they must adjust significantly. There are many teens, they don't adjust significantly. They have the baby, but they go out all the time. They want to do everything that they've always done as when they were single, and that's not good for the baby, and that's not really fair for whoever may be keeping the child. And sometimes, unfortunately, there are some teens that ends up really abusing and hurting the child because they're frustrated that they have to stay home because they can't go somewhere. They're frustrated because they have to leave early. They're frustrated because they're still trying to go to school and have the baby and taking care of the baby at the same time, and just all the different family dynamics that can take place. Perhaps a father's not around, whatever it may be, or perhaps a mother's not around, because there are men, teen boys, they get someone pregnant, the mother doesn't want anything to do with the baby, and that young man steps up. But there's still a lot of changes that occurs, not to mention the family stresses and conflicts that may occur with just someone becoming a parent as a teen. So for me, for my children, I would advise them not to. Number one, do not become a teen. Don't get pregnant as a teen, because now you're starting you're taking on a responsibility that you could have experienced later on and still enjoy your youth. Your youth is automatically robbed at that point. Now, I'm not telling anyone to go and get an abortion. I'm not talking to anyone like that, and I'm not trying to shame anyone who is a teen parent, because a lot of them, they can still do the things that they need to do as far as going to school, going to college, doing well in their lives, but it was still difficult. It was a lot more difficult than it would have been if they did not have a child. So I do definitely respect those who were able to push through and was responsible when they finished high school and they went to college and they're doing well. But I'm sure when they sit with their sons and their daughter who they raised as a teen, they're not encouraging them to go be a teen parent. So trying to be with someone, if you're a teen and there's someone who has a child, you must understand at that point, you have to consider some things. It's not going to be the same as if you're going out with someone and you're just hanging out with a person who does not have a child. Even with friendships, it's different. Your friends are going to be able to do so much more, but the person who has a child is going to be different. They just don't have that freedom. They have to make arrangements. And so those things may take away from the youthful fun and bliss that you will have if you are both just two single kids that are just having fun, going out with your friends, doing things, going to events. It's definitely different. Now, there's some people, they are okay with that. There's some people, they don't really do a lot of things and they're all right with that as well. You know, it does not bother them. But I will always say to any young person, enjoy your youth. Enjoy your youth. You can't go back. You can't retrace it. You can't redo it. You're going to have time to grow up, God willing, and be an adult, and then you're going to adult, and you can't get out of that. And then you're going to have children. You don't want to be saying, oh, I was doing this from I was 16, 20 years old. I was doing this when I was 15. Don't nobody want to hear that. They're like, well, you still got to do it now. Life's still going to happen now. Okay? We don't care what you did when you was 14. So, and that's life. That's how people are. They be like, okay, Captain Hero. Now you got kids again. So you just don't want to be that way. Enjoy your youth. And when you may like a person, but I will tell my children, tell my sons, my daughter, just don't do it. Not because I have anything against individuals with children, but they have time when they get older to slow down and to understand parenting and all those things, because it's just a very hard thing to do when you are a young adult. And what you do is you start doing something that you're trying to parent, you're trying to be a dad, and you're trying to be a mom, someone who has a child, and you're doing all these things. You're not able to do the things that you normally would do, or you're doing it, but it is really different. The dynamics of trying to execute and do certain things are very different, and it's going to rob you of that freedom, especially if it's long term. And when you're young, you're still very immature. That's the next thing. You're very immature. So I would not really advise any teen person to step into the arena with someone who has a child, because you can be selfish and say something that could hurt her feelings, his feelings. And a child is very precious. And if you're still a child yourself growing up, you need to grow. You need to mature, because any wrong moves, there's people that they have someone keep their child and the person was just did not know how to stop the baby from crying, and they hurt the baby, or they did something wrong, or they fell asleep, they weren't paying attention, they were playing their game, the child fell down the stairs. All these things is not paying, as far as not paying attention, playing your game, didn't realize, falling asleep. Those are normal things for teens. But when you're a parent, now those mistakes that people can overlook can be costly when it comes to a child. So the bottom line is, enjoy your youth, enjoy your time, enjoy yourself. When you get older, you get more mature, then you can consider dating someone if they had children. Or when it's your turn to have kids, now it's time for you to explore. Now it's time for you to know what it's like as an adult, as a person who's able to handle things in a marriage, all that good stuff, without all the hassle or the flashbacks of when you try to do it when you were 12 or 14. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, I'm going to do a separate video now for adults dating others with children, because this video needed a lot more, I need to add a little more in between, and I don't want to make this video too long. So guys, that's all I have to say. Give me your opinions below, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.